Hello da Tangam, welcome to Gully Classroom. This is the third lecture. In which chapter, sir? In the chapter Chemical Reactions and Equations. In CBSE 10th Standard Chemistry, Science Book Chapter 1, Chemical Reactions and Equations. We are looking at the third lecture taken in English. We are looking at the third lecture taken in English. Okay, sir. What are we going to study in this particular lecture? In the previous lectures, we have already seen what are the different types of chemical reactions. What are the 5 different kinds of chemical reactions? They are combination reaction, decomposition reaction, single displacement reaction, double displacement reaction, and finally redox reaction, which is a combination of reduction and oxidation. In this particular third lecture, we are going to look at what is single displacement reaction and what is double displacement reaction, and then we will look at a lot of good examples. Yeah? Okay, Kana. Let us start the lecture. Okay, what is a single displacement reaction? A more reactive metal is displacing a less reactive metal from its compound. Sir, how am I supposed to understand this? Kanna, let us say A is a metal. This metal is coming and reacting with, let us say A is a metal. This particular metal A is coming and reacting with a compound BC. Now A is more reactive than B. So what is A doing? A is coming here, fighting with B and displacing B and forming the compound AC. B is sent outside. B is sent outside. Are you able to understand what is happening here? Here A is coming, fighting with B. Since A is a more reactive metal than B, what is A doing? A is sending B outside. A is sending B outside and it is taking the place of B and forming AC. It is taking the place of B and forming AC. This is called as a single displacement reaction because one single displacement is happening. One more reactive metal is displacing a less reactive metal. Okay, sir, I am understanding the basic idea of what is single displacement reaction. Let us look at a couple of good examples. Absolutely, Sami. What will happen when Fe reacts with CuSO4? When Fe reacts with CuSO4, Fe is a more reactive metal. It will come and displace Cu from this compound and it will form FeSO4 plus Cu. Here iron is more reactive than copper. The more reactive iron has displaced the less reactive copper from its compound. Okay, sir, what is the speciality in this particular reaction? CuSO4 is called as blue vitriol. It is blue in color along with its water of crystallization. CuSO4 along with water of crystallization is blue in color, hence it is called as blue vitriol. FeSO4 along with its water of crystallization is called as green vitriol. Why, sir? Because it is pale blue in color. Sir, what is vitriol? In order to understand vitriol, you need to study our lecture, Gully Classroom's lecture, water of crystallization, Gully Classroom. Type in the search water of crystallization, Gully Classroom. This topic has been taught in the second chapter, acid, bases and salts. Okay, let me continue here. Sir, give us another example, sir. Another simple example. Let us say zinc is reacting with CuSO4. What will happen? Here, zinc is more reactive than copper. So, zinc is coming here and displacing copper and taking Zn is displacing copper and taking SO4 along with it. It is forming ZnSO4 and it is displacing copper. ZnSO4 is in fact called as white vitriol because it is white in color. Obviously, it is called as white vitriol because it is white in color. Okay, let us go for another reaction. I am taking Pb, I am putting it with CuCl2 copper chloride. Okay, Pb means plum, lead. So Pb is put with CuCl2. What is happening? Pb is more reactive than copper, so it is displacing copper and taking chlorine outside. It is forming PbCl2 plus Cu. Okay sir, okay sir. Give us another reaction where copper is being replaced from its compound, sir. Absolutely, Kana. Another famous reaction. I am going to go for aluminium. Aluminium, what is happening when it reacts with CuCl2? Aluminium, when it reacts with CuCl2, it forms AlCl3 plus. It forms AlCl3 plus Cu. All these three reactions are self-balanced reactions, but I need to balance this particular reaction. Let us balance this reaction. Here there is 2 chlorine, here there is 3 chlorine. So the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. I need to have 6 chlorine here and 6 chlorine here. For that, I am going to put 3 here and I am going to put 2 here. Okay, sir. Now what has happened? Aluminium has become 2. So to accommodate that, I am going to put a 2 here. Okay. So copper has become 3. In order to accommodate this, I am going to put a 3 here. That's it. This is a completely balanced equation. Okay, so here aluminium is more reactive than copper. It is displacing copper. It is displacing copper and it is taking away. Aluminium is more reactive than copper. It is displacing copper and taking Cl to form aluminium chloride, which is AlCl3. Okay, sir. What about the physical states of all these particular species? What is species, sir? In a chemical reaction, any atom, molecule or ion that is participating as a reactant or getting formed as a product is simply termed as species. Okay, they will not ask this definition in the exam. This is just for understanding. Okay, here iron will be a solid. CuSO4 will be in aqueous form. So you will get FeSO4 in aqueous form. Cu will be formed as a solid. Once more, all these metals usually will be in the form of solids. Okay, what about these salts? All these salts will always be in the form of aqueous. They will be mixed with water. Why, sir? Once these salts are mixed with water, they will be able to react with this particular metal. So you need water over here. Because we need water in order to disassociate these ions, you need to disassociate the metal ion from the sulfate ion. You need to disassociate the copper metal ion from the chloride ion. For that you need water. So all these salts need aqueous. In a similar way, here also all these salts are mixed with water, aqueous, and you get solid over here. You get solids over here. Cheers. So I have written the physical state of these reactants also. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, let me ask you something. Yeah, please. Here you have written that copper is one of the least reactive metal. More or less, iron is more reactive than copper. It displaces copper from its compound. Zinc is more reactive than copper. Lead is more reactive than copper. Aluminium is more reactive than copper. And all these metals are displacing copper from its compound. Show me a reaction where copper displaces another metal out of the compound. Absolutely, Tangam. Okay, let us take copper just like you requested. I am taking copper and AgNO3. Silver nitrate. Okay, copper and silver nitrate. Copper here, it is more reactive than Ag, and because copper is more reactive than Ag, copper is displacing Ag and taking away NO3. What is happening? I am getting okay, here I have just made a mistake. I am sorry. Because copper is displacing Ag and it is taking away NO3, you will get CuNO3 twice plus Ag. Okay, so here The physical states are obviously, this is going to be a solid, this is going to be aqueous, this is also going to be aqueous and a solid. I need to balance this reaction. Here there are 2 NO3, nitrate is twice, so in order to balance this I am putting a 2, Ag is twice, I am going to put a 2 over here. This particular reaction is absolutely balanced. Yeah, okay. Sir, give us another reaction where AgNO3 can be used. Absolutely. Let us take Zn. Zn is put with AgNO3. Silver is one of the least reactive metal. That is why silver and gold are usually called as noble metals, because they are least reactive. So obviously zinc is more reactive than silver. Zinc is more reactive than silver. So what will happen? This zinc will displace silver out of the nitrate compound, and you will form ZnNO3 twice plus ZnNO3 twice plus Ag. What about the physical state, sir? Obviously this will be a solid, this will be in aqueous form, this will be in aqueous form, this will be in solid. Let us balance this equation, sir. Okay, it is very easy to balance this equation. Why? There are 2 NO3 here, so I am going to put a 2 over here. Ag is 2, so I am going to put a 2 over here. This particular equation is absolutely balanced. This particular equation is absolutely balanced. Okay, now I have used AgNO3. Now in these particular reactions, a metal is displacing another metal from its salt. That salt is in aqueous form. Give me something different, sir. Give me a single displacement reaction which is something different. Okay, let me put iron with hydrochloric acid. What is different here? Instead of a salt, I have taken an acid, hydrochloric acid. What will happen? I will get FeCl2. I will get FeCl2. This iron is more reactive than hydrogen. Iron will displace hydrogen from its compound and form FeCl2 plus H2, which is immediately sent outside. Yeah, okay, once more. Sir, what is the physical state? Here this is a solid. Acids also need to be in aqueous form. Hydrochloric acid as a solid will not harm you in any way. Why, sir? Hydrochloric acid needs water to dissociate and form H plus and Cl minus ion. Let me repeat myself. Hydrochloric acid needs water to dissociate and form H plus and Cl minus ion, and this H plus ion is corrosive. Because of the corrosiveness of this H plus ion, what is happening? Acids are corrosive. In fact, according to Arrhenius theory that we have studied in acid, bases and salts, if you want to study Arrhenius theory, you can once more search for Gully Classroom, Arrhenius theory, and study about it in the second chapter. We have already completed the second chapter. Kindly refer it. So, iron, when it reacts with HCl, because iron is more reactive than hydrogen, it displaces hydrogen from this particular compound, forms FeCl2 and H2. Okay, let us balance this particular equation. Here there is 2, so I am going to put a 2 over here. Okay, what next? So 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine. Yeah, it is balanced reaction. This is a balanced reaction. Let me go for another reaction. Magnesium, I can put it with hydrochloric acid. Okay, now what will happen, sir? Magnesium, when I have put it with hydrochloric acid, it will form MgCl2. The more reactive magnesium displaces the less reactive hydrogen out of this particular acid and forms H2. Let me balance this particular reaction. How are we supposed to balance this reaction? Here there is 2 chlorine. I am going to put a 2 over here. Okay, there are 2 hydrogen, so here there is 2 hydrogen. This is a balanced equation. Okay, sir, you are taking only one particular acid. Why are you favoring hydrochloric acid? Let us use something different. Let us use the queen of all chemicals. Which is the queen of all chemicals? Sulfuric acid, obviously. Okay, let me use sulfuric acid, Zn plus H2SO4. Okay, now what is happening? I am getting ZnSO4 plus H2. Why, sir? Because here Zn is more reactive than hydrogen. It is displacing hydrogen and forming ZnSO4. It is displacing hydrogen and forming ZnSO4. Is the equation balanced? Yes, the equation is balanced. Okay, what about the physical states, sir? Obviously, these two are going to be solids. Here the acid needs to be aqueous because only in aqueous solutions the hydrochloric acid or the sulfuric acid will disassociate itself in order to furnish. Sir, what is the meaning of the word furnish, sir? Furnish means simply produces. So, an acid needs to be put in water in order to furnish H plus ions. Then only it will be an acid. What about these particular salts? The salts will be obviously aqueous in nature. The salts will be obviously aqueous in nature, and H2 obviously it is gas in nature. Okay, sir. I want you to teach me a very interesting single displacement reaction. Okay, let us go for a very interesting single displacement reaction with which I am going to tell you a very small story. Okay, let me take iron. With iron, I am adding some water. With iron, I am adding some water. What will happen, sir? You will get Fe3O4 plus this H2 will be sent outside. This H2 will be sent outside. What about the physical states? Obviously, this is going to be a solid. Water is going to be a liquid. Fe3O4 is going to be a solid. Hydrogen is going to be a gas. Sir, what is the significance of this reaction? Before we see the significance, I want to balance this reaction. Here there is 3Fe. Yes, sir. So I am going to put a 3 over here. Okay, what about oxygen? Here there is 4 oxygen. Yes, sir. So I want to put a 4 over here. Here there is 8 hydrogen. 4 into 2 it is 8 hydrogen. So I am going to put a 4 over here. Hence I have balanced the entire equation. This is basically a rudimentary understanding of oxidation or rusting of iron. What is happening to iron materials that are left outside, that are left into contact with the atmosphere? The iron is combining with water. It is hydrogen is being displaced. The hydrogen is sent outside and it is forming Fe3O4, which is basically rust. Sir, is this the proper formula for rust? No, Kana. Rust can be of many different formulas depending on the situation. But this is a rudimentary understanding of rusting of iron. This is a rudimentary understanding of rusting of iron. What else can you talk about these reactions, sir? Here, in these 3 reactions, look closely. A metal, what is happening? A metal is reacting with an acid. What is happening? A metal is reacting with an acid and it is releasing hydrogen. Yes, sir. This is a famous, okay. A metal is reacting with an acid. Sorry, I meant to circle this one. This need not be circled. Okay. So, these 3 metals are reacting with an acid in order to release hydrogen. This reaction is studied in the second chapter. Acids, bases and salts. In that particular chapter, we will study about how acids react with metals. When acids react with metals, the less reactive hydrogen is usually sent out, has H2 molecules, has H2 gas. The more reactive metal is accommodated in order to form metallic salts. Let me repeat myself. When an acids react with the metal, what is happening? The more reactive metal displaces the less reactive hydrogen and hydrogen is sent outside, has H2 molecule. The more reactive metal forms its own metal salts. Are you able to understand the speciality of this entire thing? Are you able to understand? Let me write this here. A metal, what is happening? It is reacting with an acid. Okay, so first hydrogen is sent outside. What is happening? Hydrogen is sent outside plus what are you getting? You are getting metal salts. Okay, sir. That's more than enough for me. You have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my God. You have written 10 reactions for a single displacement reaction. Yes, I wanted to be thorough. I wanted to give you a lot of content. Let us go to double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction means there are two different ions in the reactants and each of the ions displace each other. Okay, sir. Give me a good example. Here, let us say there is a compound AB and here let us say there is a compound CD. Okay, what is happening? Let me tell you, in ionic compounds, usually the positive ion will be put in the front, the negative ion will be put in the back. Here also the positive ion will be put in the front, the negative ion will be put in the back. In fact, the positive ion is going to be called as cation. The negative ion is going to be called as anion. Once more, the positive ion is going to be called as cation. The negative ion is going to be called as anion. Okay, now what is happening? Check this out. Here, the cation of the first compound A is combining with the anion of the second compound. A is coming out and combining with D and forming AD. Here, A is the positive ion, D is the negative ion. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. What about the other two ions? Here, the C cation is coming out of the second compound and combining with B minus. So I am getting C plus slash, okay, I am getting CB. I am getting, okay, I dirtied the board. Okay, I am getting CB. Here C is the positive ion, B is the negative ion. This is basically called a single displacement reaction. Notice carefully what has happened in single displacement reaction. In single displacement reaction, there has been an exchange of cations and anions between each other. Who are each other? Between each of the reactants. So the reactants, what they are doing? The reactants are exchanging their cations and anion. Look here, the cation of the first compound is combining with the anion of the second compound. Yeah, the cation of the first compound is combining with the anion of the second compound. Similarly, the cation of the second compound is combining with the anion of the first compound. This is called as a double displacement reaction because the metals displace each other. The metals A and C literally exchange the ions. Okay, Kana. Are you able to understand what is double displacement reaction? Okay, sir. But why is double displacement reaction called as precipitation reaction? Double displacement reaction is called as precipitation reaction because in all these reactions, a precipitate is formed. What is a precipitate? A precipitate is a species that does not dissolve in water. It settles down in the container. Let us say this is the vessel in which reaction is happening. If the precipitate will simply settle down like this in the surface of the container. The precipitate will simply settle down like this in the surface of the container. So this is called as basically a precipitate. A reaction where precipitate is always formed is called as precipitation reaction. In double displacement reaction, a precipitate is always formed. Yeah, can I give you some very good examples with respect to double displacement reaction? Please, sir. Absolutely. Okay, let us go for some very good examples. BaCl2 you are putting with Na2SO4. Okay, sir. Here I want to combine this and this. Yeah, B and C. Okay, so Na and Cl. What is happening? I am combining Na and Cl. Okay, I will get NaCl. Okay, sir. What about the other part of the compound? I will get BaSO4. Here I will get plus BaSO4. Okay, is this particular reaction balanced? No, it is not balanced. Here there is 2 Na. I need to put a 2 over here. Chlorine is 2, but here also chlorine is 2. BaSO4. This particular reaction now it is balanced. Okay, sir. What about the physical state of all these reactions? Okay, the physical state of all these reactions are BaCl2 and Na2SO4 must be in aqueous form so that they can exchange their ions. Okay, NaCl will also be in aqueous form, but BaSO4 is the precipitate. So this precipitate will obviously be in solid form. This, in fact, what is the color of BaSO4? BaSO4 is a white precipitate. What is the color of BaSO4? BaSO4 is a white precipitate. Let me go for the next reaction. Are you comfortable with this particular reaction? Ba is combining with SO4. The positive ion, the cation from this particular first compound is combining with the anion from the second compound and forming BaSO4, which is a white precipitate. Okay, sir. I am able to understand this. Give me a reaction based again once more on BaCl2. Absolutely, BaCl2 plus K2SO4. What will happen? I will get KCl plus BaSO4. Okay, I need to balance this particular reaction once more. How am I going to do the balancing? Here there is 2. I am going to put a 2 over here. So Cl2. So here also Cl2. The rest of the equation is absolutely balanced. I want to write the physical states. Both the salts in the reactants must be aqueous so that they can dissociate and exchange the ions. Here this is aqueous. It will be dissolvable in water. But here this is a solid. It will be a white precipitate. Once more, BaSO4, a precipitate is formed. So this is a good example for precipitation reaction. Okay, sir. Once more, I want another reaction based on BaCl2. Really? Once more based on BaCl2? Absolutely, sir. Okay. Here BaCl2 combines with Al2SO4. Al2SO4 thrice. Okay. BaCl2 combines with Al2SO4 twice. Here, what is combining with what? Let me check here. Cl2 is combining with Al. Aluminium and chlorine are combining with each other. What are you getting? You are getting AlCl3 plus. Okay. Ba and SO4 are combining with each other. What are you getting? I am getting simply BaSO4. I am getting simply BaSO4. Okay. Are you comfortable with this? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Now this is the reaction. Here Ba is combining with SO4, BaSO4, which is a precipitate. Obviously, this is a solid. Aluminium is combining with Cl, AlCl3. It is obviously aqueous. It is obviously aqueous because it is dissolvable in water. Here both the reactants are once more aqueous and here also it is aqueous. I need to balance this particular reaction. How am I supposed to balance this reaction? Let me check it out. Okay. Here there is 3SO4. Am I right? Here there is 3SO4. So I am going to put a 3 here in order to balance this SO4. Barium has become 3. So I am going to put a 3 over here. Chlorine has become 6. Okay, in order to accommodate that, I am going to put a 2 over here. 2 into 3 is 6. Here 3 into 2 is 6 chlorine. 2 into 3 is 6 chlorine. Aluminium has become 2. Here also aluminium is 2. This is a balanced equation. Yeah, absolutely. This is a balanced equation. Okay. What reaction shall I write next? So once more a reaction on BaSO4. Really? Okay. But I want to change this particular side. Once more a reaction based on BaCl2. Barium chloride as one of the reactants. Instead of a salt, here I want to put an acid. Instead of a salt, here I want to put an acid. Now what will happen? Interesting things will happen. How, sir? Here there is chlorine. Here there is hydrogen. These two will combine with each other and form HCl. Yeah? Okay, sir. Here there is Ba. Here there is SO4. And those two will once more combine with each other to form BaSO4. Once more, BaSO4 is a solid. Why it is a solid? Because it's basically a precipitate, HCl. It has to be in aqueous form to react. H2SO4. Once more, it is a acid. It needs to be an aqueous form in order to react. BaSO4. Okay. Here, you can have it in aqueous form. Okay, let me balance this particular equation. How am I supposed to balance this particular equation? Here there is 2 hydrogen. Okay, so I am going to put a 2 over here. Chlorine is 2. So here there is 2. Ba, here there is 1, here there is 1. SO4, here there is 1, here there is 1. That particular equation is balanced. Beautiful, sir. So, sir, I am more or less fed up with you teaching only double displacement reactions which involve BaCl2, barium chloride, and you are getting BaSO4, which is a white precipitate. Please change this. Please change this. Absolutely. Let me go for AgNO3. Yes, absolutely. Let me go for AgNO3. Okay, you are taking AgNO3 and NaBr. What is going to happen? Okay, here you are taking AgNO3 and NaBr. NO3 and Na will combine to get NaNO3 plus. Okay, then what will happen, sir? Ag will combine with Br in order to form AgBr. Here AgBr is our precipitate. In fact, what is the color of AgBr? AgBr is usually, not usually, it is always yellow in color. AgBr is yellow in color. Okay, sir. Can I balance this equation? Absolutely. Let us check this particular reaction. This particular reaction is self-balanced. Check it out. AgNO3. Yes, this particular reaction is self-balanced. Sir, AgNO3 reactions are fascinating. Give me another example. Absolutely. AgNO3, when it is reacting with the NaCl, what is happening? NO3 and Na will once more combine to form. Okay, let me follow the same color pattern. NO3 and Na will combine once more to form NaNO3, sodium nitrate. Now Ag and Cl will combine to form AgCl. Sir, what is AgCl? AgCl is a solid, it is a precipitate. Okay, what is the color of AgCl? AgCl is a white precipitate. AgCl is a white precipitate. PPT means precipitate. Instead of putting like this, I can simply put yellow PPT. PPT means precipitate. Okay, sir. I am comfortable with reactions involving AgNO3. I want more diverse double displacement reactions. Absolutely. Check this out. PbNO3 twice. Yeah, PbNO3 twice. I am going to put it with Ki. Ki. What is happening? Check this out. Here there is NO3, here there is K. They will combine with each other in order to form KNO3. Absolutely. They will form KNO3. Okay, sir. What about the other part? Here there is Pb, here there is I. So they will combine to form PbI2. What is the speciality of PbI2? PbI2 is golden in color. This is golden precipitate. PbI2 is simply golden precipitate. That's not actually gold, but the color of PbI2 is golden in color. So how am I supposed to balance this particular reaction? NO3, there are two NO3 here, so I am going to put a 2 over here. So here there is 2K, here there is 2I. I am going to put a 2 over here. Yes, this particular reaction is balanced. Sir, you have forgot the physical states of a couple of reactions. Okay, all the salts in the reactants will always be aqueous. So I am going to put aqueous over here. Okay, because the salts need to be dissociated in order to exchange the ions, and salts are dissociated only in water because salts are polar in nature. Water is also polar in nature. Like dissolves like, water dissolves polar salts. Water dissolves and disassociates polar salts. Water dissolves and disassociates polar salts. Yeah. Okay. Let me go for here. Here obviously this is PbI2 is also a solid. AgCl is also a solid. NaNO3 is aqueous in nature. This is also aqueous in nature. This is also aqueous in nature. Okay, sir. Can you give me some more interesting examples? Absolutely, Tangam. Let me go for BaI2. What is it reacting with? It is reacting with KBr. Okay, sir. Now, what is happening? Here there is I2, here there is K. They combine with each other in order to form Ki. Okay, sir. What next? Here there is Ba. Here there is Br. Yes, here there is Ba, here there is Br. They combine with each other to form BaBr2. What is the color of BaBr2? BaBr2 is yellowish white precipitate. It will be slightly yellowish white PPT, yellowish white PPT. Cheers. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Let me balance this particular equation. This particular equation is balanced as here the iodine is 2. I am going to put a 2 over here. Here I have a K. So in order to balance this, I am going to put a 2 over here. Here Br is 2. Here also Br is 2. This is a balanced equation. Cheers, sir. Cheers, sir. Okay, sir. I want you to write finally a couple of equations that are totally different from these equations. Here two salts are reacting with each other. Here two salts are reacting with each other. I want you to write a equation which will be completely different from this. Absolutely. Let us try this out. Here NaOH, which is sodium hydroxide, is reacting with the H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid. What is happening here? Here OH is combining with H and forming H2O, and it is forming H2O. What next? Here Na is combining with SO4. Na is combining with SO4 and forming, I am going to write this also in black. Let me put a squiggly line here just to show that Na and SO4 are combining to form Na2SO4. This also I am going to add a squiggly line. Squiggly line. What is the spelling of squiggly line? Squiggly line. I hope this is correct. If I am wrong, check it out in Google and put it in comments. Yeah, squiggly line. I think it is right. I think so. Anyway, what is happening here? Base is reacting with an acid, but still there is an exchange of ions. How? Here this particular H2 is combining with this particular OH, Na is combining with SO4. What is the speciality of this reaction? This reaction is called as neutralization reaction. What is it called as? Neutralization reaction. Sir, where will I study this particular reaction? You will study about neutralization reaction in the second chapter, acid, bases and salts. In neutralization reaction, a base combines with an acid. So the hydroxide ion, what is this particular ion called? OH minus ion is called as hydroxide ion. This hydroxide ion is combining with this particular hydrogen ion and forming water, and it is forming water, and it is simply sending NaSO4 as Na2SO4 outside. This is also a good example for double displacement reaction. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Give me one more double displacement reaction which is also a neutralization reaction. Absolutely. Let us write once more NaOH. Okay, NaOH. I am adding NaOH to hydrochloric acid. Let me add it to hydrochloric acid. Now what is happening here? This OH and this H will combine to form water. So this Na and this Cl will combine to form NaCl. What is NaCl? NaCl is simply common salt. NaCl is simply common salt. This particular reaction is self-balanced. Let me look at this particular reaction. Here there is 2 Na. So I am going to put a 2 here. Yeah, I think I have balanced that reaction. No, here let me check the number of oxygen. Here there is 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen. Here there is 4 plus 2, 6 oxygen. So here also there needs to be 6 oxygen. Here there is 4 oxygen. I need to add a 2 here. Hydrogen is 4. Let me check it over here. 2 plus 2. Hydrogen is also 4. This reaction is balanced. This reaction is balanced. Sir, what is the physical state in this neutralization reaction? It is obvious. Here this needs to be aqueous. Why this reactants need to be aqueous? Reactants need to be aqueous because acid and base behave as acid and base, because acid is able to dissociate and produce H plus ions in water. Base is dissociating and furnishing OH minus ions in water, and that is the only reason, according to Arrhenius theory, that acid and base are behaving as acid and base. Cheers. So water is obviously liquid in nature. Na2SO4, it is going to be aqueous in nature. It is going to be aqueous in nature. So the one difference between these reactions is the neutralization reaction does not produce a precipitate, but still it is considered as a double displacement reaction. Neutralization reaction does not produce a precipitate. All these 8 reactions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reactions has produced certain precipitates with certain color, but the double displacement reaction involving neutralization does not really produce any precipitate. Yeah, I know I have taught a lot of equations. I know that these many equations are not not really necessary to understand double displacement reaction, but I want you to understand how I am thinking when doing a reaction, how I am thinking when writing a physical state in a balanced equation, how I am thinking when balancing a reaction. For you to get into the mentality of writing a chemical reaction, the only way to do it is by looking at someone doing it. So I have simply done 10 reactions based on double displacement reaction and 10 reactions based on single displacement reaction. I hope you guys enjoy this lecture. I did enjoy taking this lecture to you guys. Yeah, if you like our lecture, basically that's the end of our lecture. If you like our lecture, click the bell icon. Obviously, first subscribe to us, click the bell icon. What next is, sir? Promote our videos to your friends through social media. If you love our lecture, do comment on it. I enjoy reading your comments and I always reply to all the comments. Cheers and thank you. I am having so much fun teaching to you guys. Hope to see you guys in the next lecture. Consider subscribing. Cheers and thank you. Cheers and thank you.